Hello everyone, my name is Mason Brewer and I'm part of the extracurricular team at Nelson & Colne College Group. Now today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an overview of what the Duke of Edinburgh Award is and how you can sign up to it for this coming year. Okay, so this qualification is open to both students at Nelson & Colne College and Accrington and Rosendale College. So let's get started. So here we have a little bit of a video, and it's not going to let me play it because I'm recording my screen, so I will send it across in a presentation so you can watch it in your own time, but it's just a little bit of a taster of what to expect within your expedition part of the DofE Award. Now, as you probably know, there are lots of different sections for the DofE, and the expedition being only one of them. Now, the DofE programme, it's a real adventure, and it's a worldwide recognised qualification. So if you're thinking of applying to university, if you're thinking of applying to jobs, then this is a really good thing to put on your CV because it stands out. It shows you've done so many different things to achieve this gold award. Now, the DofE programmes, they have 3 levels. So we have the bronze, the silver and the gold. Now, at college, we offer the gold only, okay? Now, you might come in with the bronze, or you might come in with the bronze and the silver, and then you can go into the gold. But also, if you don't even have any of them, you can go straight in at the gold. That's what's great about this. You can go straight in at the gold. You just have to do a few extra months of the other sections, which I'll talk about later on. So this is what I was talking about. So if you're a direct entrant, that means you've not done any previous qualification. You've not done the bronze or the silver. So if you're a direct entrant into gold, you would have to take up to 18 months to complete the gold award. Whereas if you've done the silver, you would only need to do it for 12 months to the gold award. So as you can see, there's about 6 months extra you need to complete as a gold direct entrant. Now, to achieve the gold award, you've got to complete 5 different sections, and I'll talk about each one in detail on the next few slides. But each different section develops different skills throughout, and over the 12 or 18 months, you'll see yourself develop massively throughout, and that's why it's such a recognised qualification. So we've got the volunteering section, we've got the physical section, we've got the skills section, and then the expedition. And then also, at the gold level, we've got something called the residential section. Now, this is where you've got to kind of go away from home and do work or a shared activity for 5 days and 4 nights. Now, this is an additional cost to you. Okay, so the college can't pay for this because the costs kind of differ massively, and I'll show you some examples on the next slide. But we do support you throughout, so we'll help you find them. And also, a really good tool is the DofE Residential Opportunity Finder. So I just picked a few examples out of what I found on the Opportunity Finder on the next slide. So here we are. Here's 2 completely random ones that I picked off the Opportunity Finder, and they're very, very drastically, okay? So like I said, it's completely up to you what you want to get out of this, but it kind of does come down to money, it does come down to your time and your travelling. So on the left hand side, we've got somewhere in Somerset in the UK. You can kind of narrow your search down to local, so obviously we will be able to find ones for you in Lancashire, but it's completely up to you. So the first one is in Somerset. You will do a mixture of volunteering work on a project, maybe with the Quantock Rangers or another local organisation. Okay, so that's one. Whereas on the right hand side is in Africa, a desert elephant conservation in Nambia. Okay, so as you can see, you'll be doing some volunteering, some probably a once in a lifetime opportunity, and like we're saying, they're both just as valid. Okay, you'll still get the qualification if you pick the left hand side, you'll still get the qualification on the right hand side, but obviously it depends on what you want to get out of it, and as again I said, money. Okay, so here's a little bit of a breakdown now of how long you need to complete on each section. So the volunteering, you've got to do 12 months of volunteering to complete the gold award. Okay. We then have the physical and skills section, and you've got to complete one of them for 12 months and the other for 6 months. So you could do 12 months of physical and 6 months of skills. Sorry. Now I will go into detail later on about what each one of these are. You then got to do an expedition. You got to plan for it. You got to train for it. You do a training expedition, and then you do the real thing, which is called the qualifying expedition. So we go up to the Lake District twice within the year. One being a practice and one being a training. And when you also do a little practice around the local area, so it might be up Pendle Hill, for example. But the qualifying expedition is a 4-day, 3-night expedition. And then finally, as we were talking about on the last slide, is a residential section where you do a shared activity away from home for 5 days and 4 nights. Now, as we were saying with the direct entrance, they've got to do a further 6 months. So instead of 12 months, they've got to do an extra 6 months in the volunteering, making their total qualification up to 18 months. So you could either do an extra 6 months in the volunteering section, doing 18 months volunteering, or you could do an extra 6 months on whichever is the longest of the physical or the skills section. So for example, if you picked to do 12 months of the physical and you're a direct entrant, you've got to do an extra 6 months of the physical. Okay, so it can't be 12 months and 12 months for physical and skills. You've got to do the longest. So for example, 12 months of skills and 6 months of physical, you got to pick the skills section and do an extra 6 months. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you. Now, one thing that I didn't mention on the last slide that I probably should have is that each section, so the volunteering, the physical and the skills, all need to be completed regularly. Okay, so regularly means, and what we expect by regular is you got to complete each section, volunteering, physical and skills, for at least 1 hour per week for that duration of the 12, the 6 months or the 18 months. Okay. Now this is then kind of submitted to the DofE app, which I'll show you later on, where I then go on and verify that you've done it, and you've got to submit proof. So for example, if your skill is to learn cooking and learn some cooking recipes, then each week I need to see a photograph of what you cooked and maybe a little bit of a journal. Okay, I can go on then and submit you saying, yep, I approve it, and this was completed for that week. Okay, now on the next few slides I'm going to talk about what each section might include and give you some ideas of what you could pick. Okay, but remember, you might already be doing something in your life after college or before college that might be included or might be accepted as part of the DofE. Okay, so just take that in mind before you start something completely new. Okay, so volunteering is simple. It's about choosing to give time to helping individuals or your local community without getting paid. Okay, so that's the main point. You got to do it without getting paid. It can't be a job. Even if your job is working somewhere that helps the community, it doesn't count. Okay, so you might do team volunteering, you might do scouts that does some volunteering on a weekly basis, any conservation, visiting people in the care home, fundraising, you might do litter picking every week. It's completely up to you. Now you can do this individually, or you can go find an organisation that kind of can help you through it as well. So that's completely up to you. Now the physical section can be quite easy to kind of complete. It's improving an area of sports, dance or fitness, just for a few examples. So for example, at college we run a lunchtime badminton class, okay, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, that's on the Nelson campus. We also run sports within the sports hall at Accrington as well, 12 o'clock till 1 o'clock. If you come along to that every week for 1 hour, that would count towards your physical section. Whereas if you do something outside of college, you might play for a football club, you might do lots of running regularly, you might do a martial arts, as you can see on there, you might go to the gym, yeah, you might even just go for a daily walk. Okay, that is all physical. Okay, as long as you can prove it, as long as you can take a picture, make a journal, and upload it onto the DofE account, I'm happy that it is completed. Okay, but remember, it's got to be done regularly, 1 hour per week. Sorry. Now the skills section is a little bit different. Okay, so it can't really be related to a sport or fitness. It's got to be a new skill that you're interested in, because remember, you've got to do it for 6 to 12 months or longer. Alright, so it might be, as I said earlier, it might be cooking on a weekly basis for your parents or for your friends. It might be learning a new instrument or a new language, or something that you're interested in. Okay, so it might be to develop you personally. It might be a new talent, or organisational skills, or management skills, or research skills, for example. Something though that you can prove to me in physical form that I can approve. Okay. Now onto the expedition section. Now the expedition section is what people expect. When you say DofE, they think, or they can imagine, it's the out in the countryside walking. Okay? So for the expedition, you've got to plan, you then train, prepare and complete an adventurous journey in a team between 4 and 7 people. Okay? Now this is the most fun part, which you'll all probably look forward to. Now it is hard work, okay? So I think each day you've got to be out for 8 hours a day, and at least 4 hours of that is got to be walking. So you've got to be journeying for 4 hours, and you've got to be out for 8 hours. Now, as I said, you will get training for this, so we've got people that come in and teach you all the map reading skills, plan the trip, so you know exactly where you're going. And as I said, we do a local walk, so Pendle Hill for example. We then do a practice expedition, which is away in the Lake District, for a little shorter period of time. And then we have the real qualifying expedition, all done in a year, that you can then do. Okay, one thing that I do recommend is that if you're thinking of the DofE, if you're doing A-level specifically, I'd probably recommend doing it in your first year rather than the second year, because this is a very, very big commitment, the DofE. With all the volunteering, all the skills, all the physical sections you need to do, it's very important that you just consider your studying time and how much that might be taken by DofE. Okay, so students in the past have always recommended to do the DofE in the first year of college rather than the second year of college. But nevertheless, if you don't complete a section, so for example, if you don't complete the expedition in that year, you have up to the age of 24 to complete the full qualification. Okay. So for example, if you've not completed the physical section and you're only 18, you've got many years to complete that section. Okay. Now this is just what I mentioned here. So if we're just looking just at the gold level, you have to be out of your expedition for 4 days and 3 nights. Okay. And you're out for at least 8 hours during the daytime, and 4 of those hours need to be walking. So just what I mentioned previously for that one. As you can see, the bronze level and the silver level is much lower, so you don't need to go for as far and you don't need to go for as long either. And again, just to recap what we do, so we do the preparation in college. Okay, so we do the preparation in college. You'll get time out from your lessons, and we will teach you the map reading skills. We'll teach you all the different skills that you need in order to be successful. We then do the training, we do the practice, we do the qualifying and a debrief as well, and then you come and present your kind of feelings and how you thought it went to me, and that will then complete your assessment. Now once you've completed your application form and sent it to me, I will then buy your place, which will give you an account, so you can download the DofE account, and this is where you track your progress. So as you can see in the middle section here, we've got a volunteering section. You upload your information here, and this is where you can track your progress with how many months you've got left, how much more you need to do, okay, whether I've accepted it or not, and this is where our communication will come from as well. Okay, but definitely recommend downloading that. Okay, so now kind of the cost of DofE in general, okay, and what it's going to cost you. Now this year, we haven't done it in the past, but it's been heavily subsidised for you by the college, to make it as affordable and accessible for everyone really, because we want everyone that wants to do it to be able to get involved. So the only thing that we do ask is the registration cost, so buying your place so you get a DofE account, of £30. Okay, so it will cost you £30 for the whole qualification, other than the residential section, which I mentioned before, that can range from 200 to 500, however, whatever you want to do for the residential. That is not funded by the college, but everything else is funded by the college except that and the registration cost. Now, what it should cost, especially for the training and the expedition going away to the Lake District, it's going to be free for you. And it should normally cost around £450. The only thing that we do ask is that you make sure you are serious about this qualification, because obviously if you sign up for it and you're not 100% sure and you drop out halfway through, we are going to be losing quite a lot of money. Like I said, it's going to be heavily subsidised, so please be serious about it, make sure you want to do it and you're going to have the time and the means to do it and complete it. Okay? Now this award is a student-led programme, so it's all down to you to complete your weekly sections, upload it. It's your responsibility to manage your commitment towards it. Okay. Now, although we will support you throughout, it's only you can actually go out and do the work yourself. Okay, we will support you throughout though. Now, the expedition training has been confirmed, and the dates are not flexible. Okay, I will send them out to you once you have expressed your interest and signed the application form. But please double check these dates, that they're not on exams, they're not over any important times that you cannot attend. Okay? Especially if you're wanting to complete the expedition element this year, you need to come to the training so you're able to kind of understand how to do the skills, how to put up a tent, how to cook, how to use the gas canisters, how to read a map, all the safety things behind it. Okay, so make sure that you can commit to those dates. Now, in the email, I will attach the application form that you can kind of fill in and submit back to me, and I also will attach this presentation as well, just so you can have a read over it. Now, it's really important to secure your place as fast as possible. Okay, so you need to register and submit your application form by Monday the 14th of November, which is the deadline. Okay, if you have done your bronze and silver in the past, so if you've already got a DofE account, we still need the £30 registration fee, because this covers the cost of purchasing your new gold award place. Okay, so we need to still purchase the gold award place, even though you've already done your bronze and your silver. Alright. And that brings me to the end of the presentation, so I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it's something you'd like to do. The next steps probably for you would be to register your interest, submit an application form, and then I will send you some more information in the upcoming weeks. Okay, thanks for watching.